E nā mana e nā reo, rauranga tirama, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you everybody so much for being here tonight, and thank you for everything that you have done over these last 6 weeks. We have run the biggest ground campaign, knocking on doors and calling people on phones that we have ever run. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Unfortunately, the results tonight showed that that wasn't enough. Earlier this evening, I called Christopher Luxon to congratulate him on National's results. While it's MMP and the numbers are likely to move around a little bit before the final count, as it stands, Labour is not in a position to form another government. The result tonight is not one that any of us wanted, but I want you to be proud of what we achieved over the last 6 years. Because despite governing through some of the biggest challenges our country has ever faced, we kept New Zealand moving forward and we protected those who needed help the most. We raised 77,000 kids out of poverty despite a global economic downturn. We reduced our emissions 3 years in a row, finally bending the curve on climate change. We built 13,000 new public homes, more than any government since the 1950s. We kept Kiwis in work with unemployment below 4% for the last 2 years, and we moved record numbers of people into work. One that's very near and dear to me, we introduced the Food in Schools program to ensure that kids could learn on a full stomach. We rebuilt and then increased police numbers. We increased the numbers of teachers, nurses and doctors, and we increased their pay as well. We sought to bring people together, to unite, not divide. We moved towards better honouring of the treaty, and I am incredibly proud of that. It hasn't been easy. I honestly think that God's ran out of curveballs to throw at us. Terrorist attacks, volcanoes, cyclones and floods, and of course the COVID-19 global pandemic and the global cost of living crisis that followed. Despite these huge forces against us, through it all, we made a difference. We saved lives and recorded the lowest number of COVID deaths in the developed world. Now that is a real outcome. We kept Kiwis in work while unemployment spiked around the world, and we grew our economy faster than most. We lived our values, and I believe New Zealand is a better place for that. So I want you to stay proud of that. We put people first. We cared. We refused to leave people behind. Because that is what we do, it is what the Labour Party does. My friend and former Prime Minister, the late Mike Moore, remarked that the highest honour a democracy can afford a citizen in a free nation is to be elected as a Member of Parliament. To those who have served but are not returning to Parliament, particularly to my Labour Party colleagues, thank you for the service you have offered to the people of New Zealand. I know you gave it your all and you deserved a better outcome than this one. To all of those who have been elected tonight, I offer you my warmest congratulations. To the people of the Rimutaka electorate, I offer my sincere thank yous. You have consistently placed your trust in me, and it continues to be an honour to represent you. To the Rimutaka Labour campaign team, thank you for waving the flag, though your candidate was seldom there in this election. Becoming Prime Minister earlier this year was the honour of my life. Following on from my good friend and colleague Jacinda, it was not going to be an easy task. I did know when I took on this job that it was going to be an uphill battle. No government has replaced a Prime Minister in an election year and carried on to win. And we've had the added challenges of flooding, a cyclone and a cost of living crisis to contend with. I'm proud of the progressive platform we put forward in this campaign, one that supports everyone, not just the well-off. I gave it my all to turn the tide of history, but alas, that was not enough. In the coming days, we will ensure that there is a smooth transition to a new government. Until that new administration is sworn in, the current government will operate in a caretaker mode, and the ordinary day-to-day business of government will continue. And then the Labour Party will take some time to reflect and to refresh. We now have a new and important role in opposition, to hold the government to account and to fight for those who stand to lose from their proposed cuts. I can promise that we will keep fighting for working people because that is our history and our future. When the tide comes in big, it almost invariably goes out big as well. That is the nature of politics. But the Labour Party is still here, we're not going anywhere, and we will get up again like we have many times before. Thank you, New Zealand, for the honour and the opportunity that you have given us to serve and to move New Zealand forward. And finally, some special thanks to all of you, our Labour team, our Labour whānau, our volunteers and supporters up and down New Zealand. Thank you so much for everything you have done. To Jill Day and the team at Labour Party HQ, thank you for all of the support that you have given me and all of our MPs and candidates during this campaign. Finally, to my family, for everything that you have done for me. To my mum and dad, for all the love that you have given me, and for all of the gaps that you have plugged over the last 9 months, I really want to say thank you to you. There is someone else special that I want to thank tonight, someone that most of you won't know, and that is my partner, Tony. Being Prime Minister is not the only special thing that has happened for me this year, and I want to thank you for being with me every step of the way over the last few months as we have gone through this campaign. And finally, to my kids, who have sacrificed more than anyone will ever know, I know that they're going to be happy that they're going to get to spend a bit more time with their dad now. Kia kaha, everybody. Thank you once again for the enormous privilege of serving as your Prime Minister. Thank you to our Labour team for everything that you have done. We have a new job ahead now to regroup and to rebuild and to come back fighting stronger than ever. Thanks very much.